Alright, today we are going to be looking at a Massey Ferguson 2270. This is just the standard baler, not the HD, so it's not the high density. Just a couple things. We'll start at the front here. Alright, we come in, we got a pretty nice heavy duty gear case. There's going to be bearings inside there for our PTO shaft, so just the immense amount of pressure and torque coming off through the drive line, that'll hold it there a lot better. Come up to our flywheel. Notice we are quite a bit of weight there. We do have slip clutch. This is a dry style slip clutch. We can adjust our tension with these bolts and the springs, so when you do the tension, you're going to actually measure that adjustment to get the right one. We have our brake, our flywheel brake, so when we're working on these, we can lock everything in place so we don't have anything moving. Inside here we have our pump, and then we also have our whole gear case right here for our crank arms right there, and you can see that pretty close. Okay, there is some adjustment on there as well, going back to our plunger. And then here you kind of see that is where our actual roto cutter would go in, would slide in, if this was attached with that or equipped with that. A couple things on the pickup attachment. We do have push bar in front along with the crop. Kind of keeps this crop against the pickup attachment as it comes down, and then we feed into our pre-compression chamber up there. So fairly common, like most of them. So our pre-compression chamber starts right back there, and then our packer fingers are just going to sit there and kind of keep packing that hay in. And then as this pre-compression chamber actually fills up, right inside there you can see that door there. That is actually, when that fills up and is completely full, that is what's actually going to trip that, and that would actually trip through this arm, this linkage right here, going up, and that's actually going to go. So if you follow this linkage, okay, all the way up, we got an adjustment rod here, and when we pull that down, that is going to trip our stuffer fingers into this cam and actually allow our stuffer fingers right there to travel up and actually insert the bale or the flake into the chamber as that plunger is all the way back. So that's going to be timed, okay? And then up here, this is our basically our safety precaution that we'll look at here shortly. That's going to make sure that our needles are going to stay out of the road of the plunger as we're going. Okay, right here you can actually see our plunger. So there is the hookup, and actually our load cells are down inside there. You can see the wires back there. So that's where our load cells are. Notice here we got our rollers that are going to keep it in line. Also, they even have this scrapers attached to there, basically to keep that travel clear, so we don't get any buildup in there. Okay, our chain coming from our main drive from our gear case comes down to our stuffer finger, and then goes all the way up to our twine fingers, or our twine knotters up there, up above, which we'll look at later. This baler is equipped with tandem axle. They're gonna just basically be spring cushion suspension, just like what a trailer would actually have. And then our back axle here is actually, as you can see, is actually fully turned. You can see that's all. It's actually got a hydraulic cylinder to help assist that as it turns, which is kind of neat to see that. Okay, right here, this is the back of our twine needles. We'll pull around and look at that a little more. So there is our twine needles right there, pre-threaded, ready and equipped. Okay, those, depending on the size of the baler, are going to be a little bit bigger. They got the tensioning, twine tensioning down below and then our slacker arms down below that even more. So there's a lot of twine guides on this. Baler adjustment. So as we've seen, we have one cylinder right here, and then as that cylinder is going to compress, as it's going to retract, we're actually going to be pulling our sides in as we actually as it's pushing out, I guess that is, we're going to be pulling that in. Most all of the new balers, looking up the back of the chamber here, you can see the twine. Okay, they got hay dogs. That's the things way up front there. You can't hardly see them in this. It's kind of, they're pretty small. As that flake comes past, those hay dogs are actually going to hold it in place so it doesn't just flop back, with that being with it being tensioned by the plunger. Okay, these little hay dogs are just going to basically spring fold down, and then when there's no bale, they'll want to come up. But if we were to actually hydraulically adjust this, they can actually they got a hydraulic cylinder underneath that, as if we want to eject a bale if we're going to go down the road, or even just for the technicians to work on it, we can actually hydraulically eject a bale. So these will come up and they'll walk that bale out until it slides out. So as you can see, we are basically max compression on this right now. Our side sheets are in about 4 inches from what they should be, and our top one is in quite a bit more even. So the one thing that this baler does not have, where the Krone did, this one's all bolted hardware to lift the doors to service them, where the Krone was actually was all just a spring lock mechanism. So basically on this side we got our same piece for our chamber stuffers, or our stuffer forks. Okay, and then over here, let me get a better shot. Okay, so here we have our computer, we have our hydraulic tank, window level filter for our pump, and then we come off the one side, off that accessory drive down on the bottom, and then we have another slip clutch. Okay, this is for the main pickup attachment, the whole thing basically, and then that one shouldn't slip very often. But then we also have another one down here for our actual our stuffer fingers down below. So really it's fairly simple. A lot of chains on this baler, which makes it easily serviceable. You don't have to worry about drive lines. The chains are quite a bit easier in some cases. So solenoid blocks to run different functions on here. They're not really an automatic spring tension. You're gonna have to set this. There is a jam bolt down below that you'll have to adjust the belt or the chain tension with. So there's a lot of steps to be looking at these as we're getting ready for service. And then here's our auto greaser. So we got basically just a little electric motor that's running through a gear reduction, running a pump, and then that's gonna pump out all the way. So yeah, going up top, so here a couple things. You still see we're actually running a big hydraulic driven sports cage. Okay, there's the hydraulic motor. There is access to the top of our plunger. So there again, there's a greaser. There is our load cell for the left, or the right, and then our load cell for the left over there. These are going to be basically just going to be no tie indicators. If one misses, one's going to just pop up. Our counter wheel right there, literally just driving to our fork here. So it there's our maximum adjustment for bale length right there. nodder assembly. So so what I wanted to highlight on here, so here's our grease banks right here, okay? So we got grease coming in, and then we can actually take these bolts right here, these little flathead adjustment screws, and actually turn those and kind of set them to where each component gets the right amount of grease, not too much, not too little. We can do that all the way across. So if there wasn't these automatic grease zerks, there'd be about 48 grease zerks up here. So a lot of greasing. Okay, we got our tensioning arms again, or tucker arms. Just gonna hold that twine tight as our bale gets ready. And then our actual knotters, which you guys seen the videos for online. So a couple of components, our twine discs right back there, and then our bill hooks are down underneath, so on our sweeper arms, and then our cams. So and then from the side there is, so that golden rod down below is going to come up and release that, and that's actually what's going to allow our knotters to actually cycle when the timing is right. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this one, looking at this. This is by far probably one of the most reliable balers on the market. Kind of still doing the old school chain technology. So the other ones we'll look at, and they'll have quite a bit more drive lines on instead of chains. So till next time, thank you.